We've had no lack of Christian leaders falling into sin, uh, revelations of sexual abuse and other types of abuse of authority. And some of those situations have hit harder than others. Each person perhaps has a specific leader that maybe they had more respect for than others, and to hear about these revelations coming out, they've been difficult. One of the ones that was hardest for me was when I heard about Jean Vanier, and he was someone I had a tremendous amount of respect for as someone who's very much interested in disability theology and disability ministry. Jean Vanier was integral to the founding of L'Arche, which is a group of group homes that are around the world in which people live together, people with disabilities, people without disabilities. And so I had a lot of respect for him. In fact, when I was writing my Doctor of Ministry thesis, I had a significant section on Jean Vanier because he was an important figure. And it was in the midst of that these revelations came out that he had indeed abused some women sexually. And I ended up keeping a small part of that in my thesis. That I still thought that he did have an impact on the development of disability theology, but I tried to shift it a bit more towards L'Arche. I did receive some pushback from those who evaluated my thesis on that perhaps I shouldn't have included anything about him, but that was the decision that I made. And so people continue to wrestle with that because it's not just that Jean Vanier wrote some books and then we can just choose not to read those books anymore. A lot of the disability theology and disability ministry resources out there are inspired in part by the work of Jean Vanier. They will refer to Jean Vanier. Some of them are directly about Jean Vanier. And of course, we have the ongoing legacy of L'Arche, which, by the way, I think L'Arche responded to what happened with Jean Vanier in a much more positive way and healthy way than RZIM did with Ravi Zacharias, but perhaps that's a video for another day. Anyways, I bring this up to say that I had the opportunity to read and to look over this particular book, The Betrayal of Witness, Reflections on the Downfall of Jean Vanier. And it was very good. What was interesting, it's written by quite a number of people. You can see it's edited by Stanley Hauerwas and Hans Reinders. And it has chapters by a number of people in the disability community, disability theologians, and so on. And each of them wrestle with the downfall of Jean Vanier in a different way. Some of them come out much harsher. There is definitely venting of anger. But there's some pretty deep wrestling with what do we do with the work that he did? Do we try to ignore that as much as we can? How do we do that? And I thought that the authors did a fantastic job of wrestling with that, and also wrestling with how this happened in the first place. What led up to this? That perhaps there was more than just a particular individual who had very unhealthy sexual views and someone who ended up doing something that was improper and that victimized these women. perhaps there was something more going on in terms of authority. So there's some good reflections here on what authority means within the church, and how we can. I don't know if we can ever fully prevent these things, but certainly think through some of the ways in which we lift up our leaders and the pedestals we put them on, and the potential danger that goes with that. So if you, like me, were really hit by the Downfall of Jean Vanier, I definitely recommend the Betrayal of Witness book. It is excellent, and it will help you to think through some of the hard issues that came about with that. There's probably some chapters that you're going to connect with better than others, depending on where you're at. But I think all of the reflections in this are definitely good. I'm going to leave an Amazon affiliate link in the show notes, and I would encourage you to purchase a copy of this book. Thank you, and God bless.